Oh, hey everybody, welcome back to the No Cover TV podcast. Look who's in the house. Bruce Colin Evans is in the house joining us, and we're going to talk to him in just a minute. We are going to have a great interview with Bruce because we go way back. Oh, yeah, we got some stories we could talk about if we dare. If we dare. So I want to thank each one of you out there checking out the No Cover TV podcast. All the audio shows are on Spotify are now on YouTube, so you can check all the audio ones out on YouTube. Plus these great video ones, just like back in the TV day. And Bruce remembers those days being on TV. Anything went. Anything went. We didn't edit anything, and he knows. Oh yes, indeed. So please check out the future shows. We got a lot of great guests coming up from all over the world, all genres and age groups. It's amazing. We got a 11-year-old ukulele player coming on, and this is going to be great. These kids are kicking butt. Amazing. But you know what I'm going to say next, people? My three favorite words are what? Support, support, support. Support these artists. Go to the shows, pay a cover charge if there is one. Get to that swag table, get yourself a t-shirt, a hoodie, a CD, an album, a keychain, a bumper sticker. Oh my, it goes on. Get to that stage, enjoy that show, see if you can stick around afterwards. Meet these great artists, see if you can get an autograph. You just never know what's going to happen with them. And most of all, these artists love doing what they're doing to put a smile on your face, and your smile kicks right back to them and puts this big old smile on the artist's face. It's a great thing. Music makes the world go around. So let's get to our guest today. Bruce Colin Evans, brother, comrade, how are you doing today?
I'm
It's been
doing
a
great.
while.
Doing great, my friend. Doing great.
Ah, I can't wipe the smile off my face, my friend. We go back all the way to 96, 97.
Yeah,
Oh
that's true.
my
I
God.
wasn't even. Oh, what was I? Yeah, I was a couple of years away from even relocating here. I was still touring out of New York.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. So we're going to go jump around, Bruce. We've got time. And I didn't do it. Now, Bruce, we go back. We've done a lot of stuff together, me and Bruce, and we'll talk about that throughout the show. And Bruce was on the TV show in the 90s and throughout the 2000s. And we'll talk about the fun and the crazy things we did on TV and stuff. But Bruce here is one amazing singer songwriter, and just I honestly, I'm going to be honest, one of the best I've ever come across in my lifetime. You are, Bruce.
Well,
You are
thank
a
you.
beautiful brother. You are.
Thank you.
And, and we're going to get a taste of Bruce. Hopefully, he's going to play a song or two for us today, acoustically. Some of his originals, which are amazing stuff. So, but before we get into music and stuff like that, Bruce, everybody on the podcast now knows that I want to jump in your head and see what I can find in there. Can I do that?
Oh, that's a dangerous proposition, brother. That's all I'm saying. You're on your own.
Well, I've been in there before, and I ran real quick back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. So what do
Well,
you
let's do this. All right, Bruce. I've never done this with you. I want to take you back real young. I want to go back when you were around 8 to 10 years old. That's when we're figuring out what we like musically. We're listening to what our parents are listening to, siblings, and we're grabbing onto what we like. What did Bruce grab on at that age and like and really listen to?
Well, that's a mixed bag. Both of my parents loved music. My father sang. My
Mhm.
mom can sing. She always said she couldn't, but she actually can. Um, but growing up the way I did in a house of basically four kids, my parents split at one time, and so music kind of became my refuge. I would come home from school, and my mom's record player would be there, and I would literally. And she loved everything from bluegrass all the way to people like Tom Jones and Engelbert Humperdinck. I remember that very well. But anyway, I would just put whatever she had when I got home from school, whatever she had sitting next to the record player. I just put it on, and
Just
I'd sing every track on both sides and then move on to the next record. So I was influenced. Well, in school, I was already being classically trained.
okay. Okay. So now, okay. So we're finding our music at that age. Now, in school, you're being classically trained. Now, what age did you start being classically trained, vocally wise, and when did you pick up the guitar?
Well, actually, that's going to be two different answers here. The
Right.
the classical training came because at an early age they discovered that I could sing,
Yeah.
and so the teacher started basically just pushing me. Um, so I would have the exposure to that world. And then when I would go home, like I said, I would sing everything that my mother had sitting next to the record player. So I was influenced by everybody from Elvis Presley to Frank Sinatra to Chris Montez to Engelbert Humperdinck to I, you name it, Hank Williams, anything
Oh,
that
yeah.
was there. So I didn't really branch out into what I would call the pop world with my own listening experience until I got to around 12 or 13 years old when I discovered the Beatles.
Ah,
And after that, that's when I started really, really listening to the radio per se, rather than just my teachers at school and whatever
sure.
my mom had. So that being said, I've been influenced by just a myriad of artists, and I'm thankful for that. I'm truly thankful for that.
Well, that's great. And I want to say, when you got to the age of, you're being trained classically and stuff, did you know, 15, 16, I'm going to be a musician. This is what I'm going to do with my life?
I never really saw anything else for me. I can
Yeah.
say that honestly. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'm sure at some time in my life, there was crazy dreams of like, I want to be a pilot. I want to be and then I actually got on an airplane and that took care of that.
You're right. That ended that real quick.
So that being said, yeah, I mean, I don't think I ever lost focus on just wanting to be inside of music. I never really thought about like trying to be a star or anything, and I still don't. When it comes to music, it's not just about what I perform; it's about what I write. Um,
Right.
Writing or expressing that
Okay.
inside of a musical framework is really important to me, and I've actually kind of gotten away from that over the last several years, but that's another story. But
Sure.
yeah, it's kind of nice. When you called, I was like, yeah, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I'm still a little
Good.
rusty on the acoustic because I've applied myself to uh, playing rhythm for the band I'm in right now. So I don't do a lot of finger picking work or anything like that. So everybody's going to have to give me just a little leeway today. But that being said, the first instrument, yes, I wanted to learn how to play. Getting back to that, was the guitar,
Was
and
the
it's
guitar.
actually the last instrument I learned to play.
Was it? Okay. The guitar. All right.
Yep.
So now, how old were you when you joined your first band?
I was 13.
13. Rock and roll. What were you playing?
Anything that the girls liked. Sorry, just honestly.
Well, yeah, that's great, brother. I knew the answer to that one. Well, anyways, okay. All right. Now, we both got to grow up in the great era of the 70s and the 80s, and
Oh yeah,
especially the influence of the music of the 80s. I know that played a big influence on you and your music
oh yeah.
and stuff. Now, later on, you have put together a band called Heaven Sent. Now, wasn't that with your brother out of Syracuse?
Yes, yeah. There's an entire backstory to that. I mean, I had been in several bands before that. I started touring really right out of college. I basically walked out on what was, I guess, the equivalent of a full ride to UNLV. I made a 17 and a half year old decision and took playing the drums for a couple of Korean recording stars. I was going to UNLV. I finished my last year of school at Clark High School in Las Vegas, and so I ended up getting recruited to be a member of the music department at UNLV, and I just wasn't a good student. I really wasn't into it. I took a job playing the drums for these two women that came over here to the States to try to get themselves. I was surprised I even got the gig, but I got it. And I've really never looked back. I've been on and off the road since 1975.
Right, you have.
Up until 2004. Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Mhm.
So then now Heaven Sent, and now you left Syracuse. Now let me get this. How did this happen? You left Syracuse with Heaven Sent, but then it became Souls in Common.
Yeah. Well, again, just to go back then and touch on what you asked me just a second ago, the Heaven Sent came about because I had been basically a hired gun in so many projects, so many bands, and it seems like all the decisions I was in several bands that should have gone very far, and they didn't because of other people's decisions. So I finally, the last one that happened to, um, I decided that the next thing I was going to be involved in this. I was about 28 years old by this time, was going to have my name on it. But I've never been egotistical enough to call it the Bruce Colin Evans Band. So I hid my name. It's Heaven Sent is not spelled with the word heaven, Heaven. It's my name, Evans, with an H and an Ent. So it's Heaven Sent, but spelled Hevansent. Yeah. Somewhat clever, huh?
A little bit clever, a little sneaky there, Bruce. A little sneaky.
Anyway, yeah. So my brother, I took him on actually to front the band. I was going through some vocal trouble that just kind of came out of nowhere. So I brought my brother on board. He's an excellent singer, to front the band, and I backed him up, played second guitar, and wrote for the band. And one of the songs, "What's the Difference?" the third track, got out. The CD got out a little too late, but it did well over in Europe and Canada and other places. So it should have been out in '89. It didn't get out till '92. So sounds had changed, so.
Right. Yeah. Now, how long after that did we put Souls in Common together?
Well, Souls in Common came about. We had actually, it was still Heaven Sent when I relocated here. Mm-hmm. There's reasons for that, but anyway, we relocated here, and we did one tour under the name of Heaven Sent, and just for one reason or another, we decided to disband, and I basically put, from the ashes of Heaven Sent, I just put Souls in Common together, which it was also it was a new direction of writing style for me. I embraced the *90s sound that was going on at the time, and I was experimenting with, instead of standard 440 tunes, I was experimenting with drop tunings and a little heavier and just a little meatier. So that I didn't feel it could hold the name Heaven Sent anymore, because the one disc was going to be so much different than the new one.
Right.
I decided to rename the band, and that's where I wrote a song called Souls in Common that's on that disc, and I decided that would be the name of the band. I liked it so much.
When Souls in Common came together, it took right off. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you came in the studio, and we're going to go back in time, brother. I still got this.
Look at that. Oh, my God.
Look at these guys here. Right there's Bruce right there. And, of course, we're that young guy in the middle right there. Oh, geez. But that's 1997. That was before you guys took off the side of the studio and hit the road and went on tour.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going for a while, too. Yeah, I remember that. Or at least they told me I had a good time. I know that much. So.
Well, you came back missing one member. One member cut their hair off, and we don't want to go into all that.
There was a lot of change. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Oh my, the 90s. But whenever I could, folks, I grabbed Bruce and the band, and we brought him in the studio. And you probably were in the studio with Souls in Common at least 3-4 times, I want to think.
Yeah, it was. I think it was definitely at least 3. Yeah.
It was great time. And so then let's move ahead now. So, I did my thing for a bit, then started No Cover TV, found Bruce. I had to track Bruce down. He's a hard one to find sometimes. Went on the FBI's wanted, and I found him. But anyway,
nice.
Bruce came along and helped out with the TV show, but he started doing your acoustic music.
Yeah,
you're really getting into your acoustic music. Souls in Common was no more.
Yeah,
and it took off, and I feel privileged that you allowed me to book your acoustic shows throughout a lot of the venues within Michigan here.
It was my honor, man. You always took care of me. I really appreciate it.
It was great, and this music is just beautiful. I mean, and instead of me just talking, Bruce, you think we might get one of these beautiful songs out of you before we continue?
Well, I'll try a little bit.
Try a little bit.
I'll give it a shot here.
Yeah, all right. Try this guy's setting me up here. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Bruce Evans, one amazing singer-songwriter.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
a song I'm going to do here is you know that I lost my brother Troy a few years
Yes,
ago now, and this is a song off of the Souls in Common disc that was a duet of he and I. He sang lead on this,
that's
and
right.
I sang harmony, and obviously I wrote the song. It's a little
Yeah,
song called "Good Advice,"
good
and if I
advice.
screw it up, na 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 na.
Oh,
It's the strangest irony, like the music of yesterday. It's a sad song with a sweet melody. Come on, baby, take my hand, and there's no need to understand just the way it is. So just let it be. When you find someone to ease your mind, and you're wondering if the world's time will before you lose or change your mind, little man, little man, little man, yeah, little man. Today I thought of you and me. Thing to see if I'm not for you, you're right for me. Come on, baby, take my hand, and there's no need to understand just the way it is. So just let it be. When you find someone who ease your mind, and you wonder if the world's the time will before you lose or change your mind, little man, little man, little man. Not talking about life and nice or ever in paradise, just about common sense and good advice. Yeah, yeah. Just let 'em in. I thought of you and me, thinking it was plain to see. If I'm not for you, you're right for me. Come on, baby, take my hand, and there's no need to understand just the way it is. So just let it be. When you find someone who ease your mind, and you're wondering if the world's time will before you lose and change your mind, little man, little man, little man, little man, little man.
oh, bravo, my brother, bravo. I haven't
Close.
heard that in what, almost 18, 19 years. It's been since I've heard you play that song.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Easily, easily. And I know them all by heart, too.
Actually, unfortunately, this is my AW 200. I wrote pretty much everything for both the Heaven Sent disc and the Souls in Common disc on my Alvarez anniversary edition. And unfortunately, that was stolen on me many years ago. So
Oh,
this one's been my baby ever since. So
right on. You know, and back when we used to talk in the studio and I interviewed, you told me quite a bit of your stories behind a lot of your songs. There's one where you were laying on the banks of a river. You came up with the song. I remember that. Oh yeah.
We had to bring that up.
Yeah, I can bring other things up too.
Well, yeah, I wrote that. Yeah, I wrote that. I call that the what the heck do I call that? It's been a while. I
It's your
think
music.
it's Mississippi Blues or something like that.
Say something like that, but I mean, and I got the song "Primal" still in my head from
Primal.
Souls and Camel.
That was that.
Unbelievable.
That was different. I mean, there's several songs that over the years that have just come to me. You know, I mean, I just the song "What's the Difference?" Like I told you, the release off of the Heaven Sent disc, the single. I literally dreamt that. I dreamt it. I woke up. The song played completely in my mind, in my dream. I woke up, grabbed my guitar, went through the chords, jotted the lyrics down, never made one change, and
No one
it was
changed.
done. It was done. So,
That's great.
who knew?
The artist creativity.
Who knew? You know what I'm saying?
Right
Anyway,
on.
but the one you're talking about, yeah, had a little after hours party go on, and we were playing somewhere near Brainerd, Minnesota. And the house we were at, I fell asleep on a picnic table. It was summer, and I fell out there, and I woke up, and I'm seeing this river in front of me, and didn't know it was there. Come to find out, it's the Mississippi. So that's where that song came from. So
Rolling on the Mississippi, man.
they told
Um,
me I had a good time in the '90s.
you did it. We all did. We all did. So we'll keep that to ourselves, brother.
Too late.
Okay. So now, all through the 2000s, we're doing the acoustic thing, but yet you also founded a band, which is Michigan's top premier cover band, Decades.
Yeah, that's been a labor of love. Um,
Yeah.
let me get this put away.
Yeah. There we
Yeah,
go.
when I decided to come off the road, when I decided to hang up the glove, so to speak, because the last 2 years that I was doing road work, I was essentially I'd gone back to being a hired gun. It wasn't my own projects. I was brought in either to back somebody up that, was looking to try to make some noise, and it was always that they were wanting me to write for whatever
Sure.
unit. And it just, I mean, they were all great people and I loved playing with them and everything, but it just got old. It really wasn't anything that I was reaching for anymore. It was
Sure.
somebody else. So I just decided, yeah, it was time. And so that's when, I was doing all that acoustic work that,
Right.
that you helped me with quite a bit. And then I decided, some friends that I had known in the area here, musicians, came to me and we talked about putting together what we wanted to be a high end cover band. Put together an act that tried to do a lot of things that a lot of other bands don't attempt for some reason or other.
Right.
And we've worked at it for a long, long time. I was gone from it. I was with it for the first 4 years, one of the founding members, and then I was gone for about 3.5 to 4 years.
Okay.
I came back and I've been with it ever since now, 12 plus years since, so 16 altogether. The band actually just this past July 4th, which was our very first gig, marked 20 years.
20 years.
20
That
years.
is awesome, bro. That is awesome. And like you said, you do touch on a lot of songs that other bands can't cover. And the reason they can't cover it is because they can't hit the octaves you can.
Well, it's not showing right now today, but I understand what you're saying. I also have my partner, Radu Corniano.
Right.
He's a brilliant musician, and he's got a great voice as well.
Shout out to Radu.
And my bass player Earl Tolliver and Tim Ross, our drummer. It's a really, 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 really tight unit, and it's morphed over the years. It's gone through a lot of upheaval. The first being one of our founding members, Steve Godfrey,
Okay.
which by the way, I'm doing another Toys for Tots event in his name.
Good.
So we'll talk about that later.
Sure. That's great.
But we named the band Decades, and the whole premise behind the band was to touch on some of the best of everything through the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s right now, country, rock, pop, funk, So we do hit a pretty broad margin, um, and we've worked at it really hard. And over the past, I'd say 3 or 4 years, it's really kind of come in, even with upheavals with membership moving in and out. Um,
Sure.
it's still come to fruition as a highly professional outfit and very well respected both by audience and our peers.
Oh,
And that means a great deal to me.
well, I got to say, Bruce, you are probably one of the hardest working artists out there because even from back then, when you did shows, you put out, 3, 4 set shows, you busted your balls. I mean, you are one hell of an entertainer and performer, and you put it, you're all 100%, 10% out there every time, brother. And you give that show that the people want.
It's not
And you
worth
stick
doing.
around and you talk to the people.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
not worth doing unless you're going to do it all the way. So
That's right. That's right, man. This gentleman right here is amazing right here. So now we're with decades, 20 years. Everything's going great because you are playing everywhere, every weekend I see and stuff like that.
yeah, when the on season comes too, the summer and stuff like that,
Right.
we're playing 3, 4 times a week. So yeah.
But now you're thinking of possibly getting some of these old originals back out there, aren't you?
Yes. Yep. I am. Well, not old. I mean, I have a volume of work that I have not released yet. I have my own studio behind me here. Um, I've got a lot of stuff in the can back here that
Okay.
I haven't. Some of them I've finished as far as the idea is concerned, as
Sure.
far as fleshing out everything with all the instrumentation and
Okay.
production. That I haven't finished that yet, but I've got some. I've got 3 or 4 songs right now that I really really think another artist that's up and coming might be really interested in taking and making their own. I have no problem with anybody collaborating with me and making suggestions or tweaking or even outright overhaul. But it's all about the music for me, and
Good.
I'm not going to be going out and trying to do that for myself again. But I would like a publishing deal again.
Right. Right.
To be able to
So,
get my music in the hands of somebody that can use it.
definitely. So the possibility of getting you back in spandex isn't going to happen, is it?
Wow, you got a better chance of seeing God play first base for the Detroit Tigers than that. Just saying.
I had to, brother. Oh, man. All right. But yes,
That is
collaborate.
unusual that I don't even. That's just wrong.
Yeah, it was. It was. My bad. That's great. But yes, collaborations. That's what I want to help Bruce out with here is collaborations and getting your music with others. But I want to see you vocalizing and singing with others too. Definitely.
Oh yes, I mean I'm always up for a show. There's no problem with that.
Okay.
I'm just not. I'm just not going to head out on the road,
No.
and somebody's picking me out of a trash can again.
No, I want to do that. No, no. So now, if we can get, you want to get some acoustic stuff out there. If this goes full blown and it takes right off, are you going to be able to, juggle decades and another career, music career?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. That's what
Yeah,
I
I
wanted to
mean, it's again. There's only two original members left, myself and Radu, and
do. Okay,
I mean, we support each other very well.
sure.
If there's anything he needs, I'm going to be behind him, and it's vice versa. So,
Oh, nice.
and he's
Very good.
and he's brilliant too. I mean, like myself, he's multi instrumental. I mean, I play guitar, piano, keyboards,
Yeah,
basically, and drums. He plays um, guitar. He's an astonishing lead guitarist.
yeah, yeah. He is.
He also plays piano and violin, and he's exceptional.
That's very good. That's
Sings like a bird too. So
now, I know when we were doing the acoustic stuff in the 2000s, if you pick it up now, would you want to stay just acoustic or would you want maybe a three-piece band behind you to highlight you at all, or you want to just go acoustic?
that would really depend. I've always been better. Like right now, when I just did that song for you just now, I
Mhm.
mean, my my bottom end was puckering up a little bit. I've never been comfortable in what I would call really bare bones situations or really just dead intimate situations. Like, I like being with a band. I love being with a band. I
You
feel
do.
feel more powerful with a band. I feed off them. They feed
Yeah,
off
you
me,
do.
So, but I mean, I can do it either way. But yeah, my preference is to play with and work with other people. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, let me ask you this one. Smaller venues or bigger venues? You like to be on the big stage running around, or you like a smaller, intimate venue?
You put me on a big stage in front of a big crowd, and you're gonna have to scrape me off the ceiling because I just love it.
No.
I love it. That's my wheelhouse.
Yeah, it is.
You put me in a small setting. That's where things get tight for me. That's where I just feel like I'm, like a bug under a microscope. That doesn't necessarily work for me all the time. But yeah, you give me a big crowd on a big stage. Oh,
Look out.
it's on. Yeah, it's on.
Oh man, that's great. All right. So now with this Toys for Tots thing, let's talk about that for a second. What's going on?
Yeah, our first drummer for decades, Steve Godfrey, he passed away several years ago, unfortunately, in his 40s.
Oh,
Just yeah, it was just he left behind a wife and two girls, and we didn't really get a chance to do much to honor him and keep his name alive because just not too much afterwards. It was a couple years later. We were all getting through his death and all that stuff, and by the time I formulated an idea, which is this Toys for Tots thing, because a lot of people had stopped doing it in the area. Steve loved his kids. So I felt that the two would be a perfect match and that would be the best way. But COVID hit. So that kind of pushed it out even further. So going back 2 years now, I did the first annual Steve Godfrey Toys for Tots. And last year we did the second annual. This time it's the third annual, and got a great entertainment lineup. We're going to have door prizes, raffles, 50/50s, you name it. It's going to be 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. at River City Saloon, December 15th.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, we've got Decades is going to perform, obviously, as the host band, but we've got some newcomers called Heather, Stubby, and Josh.
Okay.
They decided that they didn't want to come up with a name, so that's their name, and I like
That's their name.
we've also got local legends Trilogy,
Trilogy.
Pretzel Logic, they perform to a T. They perform Steely Dan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really cool stuff. And then the Hype.
Hi.
Danny Middleton. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And B-Rad and all that. Yeah. The Hype. That was their serious 80s band. So it's a really it's an excellent lineup of entertainment, and RCS is a great place to have it. It's there, and each year, the first year was okay. The second year, last year we brought in over $500 in cash.
Beautiful. Bravo.
5 boxes of toys. And they were overflowing, and all kinds of online donations, because all 3 will be available. You can donate with a QR code right there. You can donate online. You can donate in the cash box, which will be there, or you can just bring a toy.
Nice. I like that. Well, thank you for doing that, Bruce. That means a lot to me and everybody out there. Definitely.
I appreciate it. Well, Steve meant and still does mean a lot to us. So.
Most definitely. That's very sad. So, okay, well, great. Well, now I want to move over to some fun questions, and these questions I've never asked you in the 30 years I've known you. So let's
really,
yeah.
Careful what you look for.
We don't have our Jaeger to frickin' do this either.
Okay, let's go.
Let's do it. All right, everybody out there probably knows what I'm going to ask you. But here we go. You get 2 answers on this question right here. We're going to think a little bit around the world here. 2 stages that Bruce would really want to step foot on and perform. Any stages in the world? 2 of them.
Okay. The Forum.
The Forum, really? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would have to say Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall. Oh, that's a beautiful place. I could see you with your voice, your vocals hitting that right there. Oh,
well,
man.
It may not have showed it earlier, but I actually am operatically trained. I studied bel canto for a brief time while I was at college. But yeah, I'd just love to go. I'd sing a cappella there. I would definitely.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, that's great answers. I liked it. All right, let's do this. You get 2 answers on this question here. These are people, a person that's alive, a person that has passed away. Who have you always wanted to perform with, even if when you were a kid? Who have you dreamed to always step on stage with?
Perform with?
Hmm.
Well, the person that's alive, I would have to say Gino Vanelli.
Oh,
Hmm.
Gino.
Yep,
Wow.
Gino's the man, straight up.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's definitely a big influence on me. But again, my influences are wide and varied. Still, he just the first time I heard him, he just blew me away, and I was like, I want to be like him.
Right on, man. Right on.
And passed away. Boy, that's a tough one because there's so many greats that have already gone that I have performed, either performed or been exposed to their music. Um, Gee, wow, you just gave me a tough one. Ah,
Tick
I'd
tock.
have to say Bowie.
Oh, oh yes. Oh man, what? And you two together, that would be some real cool stuff. Real
I,
cool stuff.
if I had, yeah, you have to give me the body I had 30 years ago. Then I'd feel okay standing next to him. But yeah,
Right, if we could only morph back. That's great. I have some more questions, but I'd really like to hear another song. You think we could do that, Bruce?
I can try.
All right, Bruce could try and do another one. Oh, yes. I wonder if he'll play my favorite song. We'll see if he remembers.
We'll see what we can do.
All right, let's see what he's going to play. Yeah, that's it. That's-
I see your love come through my door. See you slowly turn around and walk away. Hear the rain. Yeah, I've been here before. It doesn't ease my heart or stop the pain. Well, anyway, I swear I see your face at night. I feel your breath upon my skin. I feel your arms holding on. My heart knows where it's been, but never where I'm going or what's going on. So tell me where I find the love of an honest heart. Well, if you got what you need, you're luckier than me. I walk this road all alone. Only strangers that I meet, they never stay for long. They come and go. They never know. I swear I see your face at night. I feel your breath upon my skin. I feel your arms holding on. My heart knows where it's been, never where I'm going, what's going on. So tell me where I find the love of an honest heart. I have walked this winding road for so long, all alone, just for once. I would like to know where I went wrong, where I went wrong. see love come through my door. See it gently smile at me and turn away. I hear the rain. Yeah, I've been here before. But it doesn't ease my heart or keep me sane. So tell me where, oh, tell me where I find the love of an honest heart.
Oh, yes. Honest heart. Bruce knows that's my favorite song. Always brings a tear to my eye. It makes the hair stands up on my arm.
Thank you.
Oh, you're going to get it. And when back in the day when Bruce would perform that song, of course he got all the ladies crying and all that. So that way he got a lot of free drinks out of that. You know that. That was the song right there. Yep.
Again, that's going to be a memory thing.
It's a memory thing, right? It's great, brother. Okay, let's go to some more questions. Okay. All right. Now, this question I want you to think about when you're back with Heaven Set and Souls in Common, when you're with the band and you're playing big audiences on the big stage. Okay, we're thinking this route.
Mhm.
All right, you hit the stage with the boys. You strum the first chord. You start singing that song. The people turn around. And they say, "Oh, hey, you've got some killer music going on here." They start moving. They start getting close to the stage. Most of all, you might look out there and see them singing your songs to you. How does that make you feel in your heart, Bruce?
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
had that happen quite a bit. Yeah,
Oh,
through
yeah.
the years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It hits you right there sometimes, and sometimes it chokes you up a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, usually that kind of reaction comes after I get off stage. On stage, it's just an energy lift.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It literally just it's like slamming an extra battery into me.
So there you go, the Energizer battery going on. Oh yeah. Okay, now this question, I know there's a lot of answers to it,
Okay.
and I'm hoping I can dig the dirtiest one or the greasiest one out of you. During any of your performance, whether it was the band or solo, and I can remember some of them, what embarrassing moments stand out on stage?
Oh, that's easy. That's
Yeah.
easy. I played with it. Well, actually, if you see behind me here, there's some posters here,
Oh yeah.
and that's a Heaven Sent poster from the original band, and
All right,
there's
look at the hair.
a picture down there on my controller, and up
Okay.
there is a poster of a band that I played with out of Central New York called Alpha Centauri.
Oh yeah, Alpha Centauri.
Yep. And the most embarrassing moment of my career was with that band. We were on a huge stage, and my drummer, we were set up. We had a keyboard player on what would be stage left, and he was on his own riser all the way in the corner. Our drummer had a huge riser all the way on stage right, and then I was in the center, and the guitar player and bass player stood to my left and right.
Hmm.
It was a little bit of a different setup, and it was cool. But I always used to go at a certain song. I can't even remember what it is now. It was my cue. I'd just run over and I just sprint and then just leap up on top of the drum riser right in front of the kick drum and lean over and basically slap hands with the drummer and all that kind of showboating. And this one night, well, let's say I didn't leap quite high enough. My right foot caught the edge of the drum riser, and I went face first over the drums into the drummer, and we both went off the back of the riser. It was ridiculously funny. I think we never even got. I think we laid there and laughed for about 10 minutes easily. We couldn't get off of the ground. We were laughing so hard. And God, man, there wasn't a part of my body that wasn't red when I got back out on stage.
I'm sure.
Wow,
The show,
Mr. Cool.
the show must go on, though,
Like
right?
a Japanese bullet train went right through the drums.
Right, right through the drum. That's beautiful.
Nobody died. Nobody died.
Nobody died. Nobody died. Oh boy. Well, that's a good thing there. Oh, well, we're kind of getting towards the end, Bruce. Here, Bruce. The next 5 years, future-wise, what do you want to be? Where do you want to see yourself with your music?
What do I want to be?
Yeah, where do you want to be with 5 years with your music?
I would like. I would like to know. I would like to be able to turn on the radio and hear somebody doing a few of my songs that they decided they could use. That would be a culmination of a long trek, a long journey. I would very much like that. There's a lot of songs that I've written, and I'm not blowing my own horn. Um, this business this business is fickle. This business is loaded with pitfalls. It's an incredible business to be a part of as well. But
Yes, yes.
but to say that you would want to do all that and not have something that you leave behind,
Right.
yeah, I don't buy that from somebody. I want something of myself left behind that will live after I'm gone. And
Definitely.
so, I mean, I didn't get all the breaks that some others have gotten, and that's fine. That's just the way it goes.
Right.
Business is so much being in. It's cliche, but it's true because that's what makes it cliche. Being in the right place at the right time, and it doesn't always happen for everybody. There's a lot of talent that I know of that I've come across over the years that didn't quite get there, and I was scratch my head going, my God,
Why?
they were just wonderful. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I would like very much.
Okay. Well,
And of course, to do several more no cover TV shows before I leave here, which
we'll definitely be doing that. I mean, you've grandfathered in 20 some shows already, I think.
I'm too honorary to kick off anytime soon. So
No, yeah, you won't be honored both. That's great. And I see you knocking those doors down, Bruce. I see this happening sooner than later. And I'm going to help you as much as I can. You know I will, brother.
I appreciate that. There's not too many genres that I can't write in. So
No, there's not. There's not. One more question before we get out of here. Any advice for the youngsters out there that want to do what we do?
stay in college and become a doctor.
There you go. Keep your day job.
Yeah, absolutely. But if it really is your dream, you will be called to it. And that's the one thing that I can honestly say about myself. I was called to this. I've never wanted to do anything else. There was never anything else for me, ever.
That's right. Bruce is right. Dreams do come true, so make them come true. Do it your way. Don't listen to everybody out there because everybody's a critic, and they'll bring you down if you let them. So don't let them.
Everybody's got an opinion, and you know what that is. So
you got it, my friend.
That's
Bruce,
okay. That's okay. When you put stuff out there, you have to expect critique. If you can't take it, then don't bother getting in.
That's right. That's right. Bruce, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, brother, for coming on this evening, and then we'll have you back on, and then we'll get together and talk business. But to end the show here, you got anybody out there you want to say hey to, hi to, thank you? Anybody out there you want to say anything?
Earl, Tim, and Radu, hey guys. Steve Godfrey, we love you and we miss you, and we will be celebrating your life again here shortly. And I want to thank you, my friend. You've always been a supporter at the right time, and I really appreciate you being there. I've had even in absences where we haven't seen each other in a while, I've always known that you're there. I always know that I have your support, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, my friend.
I'll always be there, Bruce. Thank you. We were brothers from another mother all the way, my friend. Good deal. So, all right, everybody, check out Bruce. His music's going to be coming up, his acoustic stuff. We're going to get it out there on his platforms and stuff so you can hear his wonderful stuff. Look out for this guy because when he takes off, he runs.
Here.
Oh, There it is. Look at the Heaven Sent and the Souls in Common. I got the Souls in Common somewhere in the house.
You can buy these two releases at the iTunes store.
Oh, get them, people. Get them, people. You will
Link,
not.
MP3 version. You can download them. The whole albums, each one for $9.99. You know.
Oh, that's a deal.
Yeah,
Get the Souls in Common Heaven Sent CDs.
and
Uh,
there's still some of these for sale on
wow.
the discs themselves for sale on Amazon, Discogs. There's all kinds of places. Still have a few left. So
Wow. I wore that Souls in Common CD. That's great stuff. Good deal, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce. We're going to get out of here, people. So check out the upcoming shows. We got a lot of great stuff. And of course, keep your eye on this gentleman right here, Bruce Colin Evans. He is an amazing rock star. He's going to blow your mind coming up here soon. Oh, yeah. Check him out. So, other than that, Bruce, we're out here, brother. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
peace
Peace,
out,
brother.
baby.
We're out here.